Hey, I'm John Cannell. Today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making chewy chocolate chip cookies. Let's get started. First off, we're gonna measure out 2 1/4 cups or 270 grams of all-purpose flour. I'm using a scale because that's gonna give you the most accurate results. Perfect. We're gonna add 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk this up. You really want to distribute that baking soda and salt, so you don't want a salty, crazy tasting cookie. Set that aside, and now we're gonna mix that butter and sugar up. Into the bowl of your stand mixer, fitted with a paddle attachment, I'm adding 1 cup or 226 grams of room temperature butter. Let's give it a really quick cream, just to move it up a little bit. Now I'm adding 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, it's 150 grams. And while that mixes, I'm gonna measure out 3/4 cup or 165 grams of light brown sugar. And that brown sugar smells the best. It's so good. All right, give that a break. 3/4 cup, in you go. We're gonna beat this on medium-low until very light and fluffy, and that will be about 5 minutes. So do a dish or two, come back. This is looking so nice and fluffy. Come take a look at what a fluffy, cloudy butter sugar combination looks like. That is very nice. Now we can crack 1 large room temperature egg in. Mix it up and then add a tablespoon of vanilla. It's 15 ml, which I clearly measured so carefully. So if you don't get a nice homogeneous mixture and scrape the bowl down, what happens is when you're getting the last of your cookies out and you're scraping the bottom of the bowl, they're like very buttery, sugary, and they melt. And then they melt in the oven and they get kind of like flat and burnt. So you don't want that last cookie to be bad. Gonna let this run for a minute just on low so it incorporates and I don't see any streaks of eggs hanging around. That looks great. Now we're gonna add our flour mixture in. Mix it on low until almost combined. I'm gonna mix this until I see almost no flour hanging around, but there will still be some flour. That's good. So you can see, if you look inside here, you can see there's flour hanging around. That's fine, because I'm gonna add the chocolate chips in now. So you could use any kind of chocolate you love, even let's like cut up chocolate bars. There we go. But they go in the bowl, in the bowl. Now we're gonna stir this on low, just to distribute those chocolate chips. And while we do that, the rest of the flour will get incorporated. That looks delicious and great. Before this goes into the fridge, I am just gonna give it one final, I'm just inspecting the mix with my spatula to make sure that the chocolate chips are distributed and that there's no bits of nonsense hanging around. I'm seeing some pockets of very heavy chocolate chip formation and some that are not so much, so. Let me know in the comments if there's a cookie you've been waiting for on the channel. I would love to make some more, so give me a list. This is going into the fridge to chill for at least an hour, and honestly, the longer you chill this, the better the cookie tastes and the more amazing texture it has. So give it some nice chill time, cover it up, and we'll be right back. Once your dough's chilled, we're gonna scoop it out. Roughly 1.5 inch, roughly 1.5 tablespoon sized scoops of cookie dough. If it's really chilled, it's gonna be a bit hard because of all that butter, so just go ahead and give it a roll so it's a nice, beautiful shape. Place it up and repeat. Placing about 3 chocolate chips on top just for the sake of beauty. We're gonna pop these cookies into the oven at 375 for 10 to 12 minutes or until the edge is golden and set. And you go. That is some brown sugar chocolate butter amazingness. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, check out my cookie playlist.